it's me, Hannah. We're getting down to the end of the year, which means it's time to work on holiday gifts and get started on next year's cosplans and other projects. Except I can't, because my workspace is a shit show. Oh my God. It has been like this for months now. How did I let it get so bad? At least somebody isn't bothered. So I'm going to take the power of video deadlines and peer pressure, thank you for the peer pressure, by the way, and see what we can do to get organized and ready to rock and roll in the new year. Let's get to work. First things first, I need some space to work. So I'm going to take everything out of here and get cleaned up. And yes, this is absolutely going to take a few days. I'm not even sure I can get it all done before I upload this video, so we may be looking at a long-term project here. You know how some people live in a mess, but it's their mess and they know where everything is? That's no longer how this is for me. My organized chaos has turned into just utter chaos. I know I'm getting a bit vulnerable on Maine, but this room has become a source of stress for me and just not a space where I feel creative and motivated to see a project through to the end. I had a number of projects I had hoped to start already for next year, but I just didn't want to be in my studio. So now I'm behind on those projects. Long story short, I just want to thank you again for being a part of this journey and allowing me to tackle this on my own, but knowing I have your support. Plus, this gives me a chance to give you guys a proper workspace organization tour, finally, once I get it all in shipshape and ready for review. I can't really think of a better way to do this than to vaguely categorize things and figure out what I want to store together. And I guess just put those things into a pile. And then I can figure out a storage solution once I know how much of that thing, be it fabric, yarn, notions, whatever, that I have. I am using my temporarily empty holiday bins to help consolidate the piles of fabric that I have, which come in all shapes and sizes. I already have an okay system for storing fabric, but I'm taking this opportunity to clean up my shelves and decide if there's any fabric to donate to my local thrift craft store, or toss because it's not worth saving. I recently picked up a new piece of furniture that I am very excited to get in here and use for storage purposes. It's not in perfect condition, but who is? I just love the sort of medieval vibes it has going on, and I truly think it's going to be perfect in here. It is technically a sort of bar cabinet, but I think I want to use it for scrap fabric that won't fold up or fit on the shelves nicely. Having a space to just ball something up and toss it in and forget about it for a while is kind of a must for me. I'm also going to need a place to keep my regular old office stuff, my laptop, my mic stand, things like that. And this Hannah-made desk slash tabletop workspace didn't come with drawers for some reason. Probably the same reason I forget to put pockets in any of my sewing projects. So to help with this, I'm going to put a 2-cube storage shelf under here to give me a spot to store my tech stuff when I'm sewing or crafting. I'm someone who needs to see what it is that I have to work with. A lack of object permanence, if you will. It's why, for example, I have 2 of the same rotary cutter and just a bunch of duplicate notions. So my goal here is to sort of display a lot of my materials and tools so that I know what I have available to me. And if it's something that needs to be box binned or jarred, then that box, bin, or jar needs to have a label. Enter the label maker. This bad boy is going to make so many labels over the next few days. Okay, so I've been working on this on and off for a couple days now, and I'm really excited to show you the progress that I've made over the last week or so and just kind of give you an overall office tour. Let's start with my desk space. This is where I work during the day. It's where I edit videos. But now I have an easy way to, at 5 p.m. every day, slam my laptop closed, place it over here in my storage space for it, and then get to work on whatever project it is that I have planned next. Like maybe one of the works in progress that I have stored in this ottoman. Someone's certainly a fan. Okay, back to my desktop. You can see I still have my pattern stored here, though I've clearly cleaned it up a little bit. Honestly, I don't know how long term this will be as I continue to grow my pattern collection. So let me know if you have any pattern storing hacks.
Get in the comments!
I also still have my sewing machine and serger over here ready to use, and my printer, which basically only prints patterns and shipping labels at this point, and that's fine. And the whole tabletop space is holding the camera and lighting rig that I've been building over the last couple years. And this is the IKEA pegboard that I installed last summer. I'm still not totally set on the arrangement here, so I haven't hit it with labels quite yet, but you get the general idea. Most of the stuff at the bottom are things that I reach for on a regular basis, like my scissors and rulers, while the stuff on the top has the stuff that I use less frequently, the knitting needles, embroidery hoops, things like that. Now you're already aware of the fact that I chose to keep my fabric scraps in here, which I've already filled the bottom shelf with. However, I've also decided that I'm going to keep my leatherworking materials and tools in here as well. I currently have a few framed pieces of art, including some art from Lady Eppie and Reveal It Paper Shop, as well as watercolor portraits that were painted at the fantasy balls I've had the pleasure of attending over the last few years. However, I would rather get these up on my wall, which I desperately need to reorganize. Let me know if working on a proper gallery wall is something that you want to be a part of.
In the comments!
If I can get these off my tabletop, then I can move my ironing pad over here and have it a bit more accessible and have less to move when I want to get into the top section of the cabinet. And lastly, I'm going to be keeping an eye out for a tabletop lamp to replace this floor lamp that just kind of gets in the way. It feels like something I can thrift though, which is why I didn't rush to get a replacement just for this video. As with all good thrifting finds, I have to wait to let the lamp find me. I also have my collapsible table here against this wall with a bit of storage under here. Currently I have my sewing pins stored in these drawers, which feels a bit wasteful of the space, so I may move a pair of scissors here as well as other tools that I find that I need to reach for when I'm sitting at this table. But that's just something I'm going to have to fill over time once I determine what those items are as I craft. And here's the cleaned up version of my current storage solution for crafting materials and fabric, as well as hats and styled wigs. I feel a lot better now that I have specific spaces for all of my materials in these baskets. From the top, I have my resin materials, my paint and paintbrushes. I've got clay, I've got glue and tape, stamps and stickers and markers, my leather dyes and paints, my fabric dyes and paints, my chain mailing tools, and of course the notions like zippers and bias tape and ribbon. I am a tad concerned about whether or not I'll be able to maintain this nice, neat, tidy, folded fabric. Honestly, my dream is to have it organized in bolts like at the fabric store. Now, I do have a few rolls of fabric that I've either inherited or thrifted, but overall, I just don't have the storage solution to organize it like that, so this will have to do. And the last piece of the puzzle is this closet, where I store my wigs and a few costumes. I do really love this wig storage solution, but it may be about time to buy another one. And when it comes to the clothes, I've gotten very hoardery about my costumes, and I need to take stock of the clothing that I have had in here that I know I'm not going to use and donate or toss whatever makes sense to get rid of. Let me know if you think an Instagram sale or Depop/Poshmark scenario is something you'd be interested in, or if like a spring closet clean out is something that you'd like to watch or see on this channel sometime next year maybe.
Get your comments!
And outside of this little shelf of knickknacks that I've collected over time, as well as my buttons and my pretty unchanged thread storage solution, that about wraps up my video for the day. This will likely be an ongoing project for me, constantly trying to figure out how to store new tools and upcoming cosplays and costumes. But I will be coming into this new year more mindful of the amount of tools, materials, and space I have available to me, and try to stay ahead of organization and, honestly, waste management. I don't know that I can honestly say that cleaning up was all that fun, but it certainly is a relief. And if you feel as relieved as I do, or if you had fun seeing my office organization tour, it would mean the world to me if you would like and subscribe. And if you do, I'll see you in 2 weeks for my next video. Take care.